Niseme asante kwako wewe na wote ambao kila mara tunakuwa pamoja hapa Double Update. Hii ni ulimwengu wa siasa na ninachokuomba ni baki na mimi mwanzo mwisho. Kule Mlima Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua na ndugu zake walikubaliana kwamba lazima tutembee pamoja ili mwaka 2027 Ruto asipate nafasi. Kwa sababu mwaka 2022 Mount Kenya ilichangia pakubwa kabisa William kupata ushindi. Na wanaamini mwaka 2027 kama wakizuia Mlima Kenya wasimpigie William Samoei Ruto kura, basi Ruto atapata ugumu sana kwenye kupata nafasi mara ya pili. Tactics zikawa nyingi sana, na tactic ya kwanza, Rigathi aliamua kuja na chama chake DCP. Hongera kabisa Rigathi Gachagua, DCP sasa hivi inafanya vizuri sana Mlima Kenya. Lakini sasa Rigathi kuna kitu anafanya vibaya na inabidi tumwambie kabla muda hujaenda, kwa sababu vitu vitakuja kuharibika hapa mbele. Rigathi anaambia wenzake sasa, unajua vitu vimeenda vizuri, chama kinafanya vizuri Mlimani, chama kimepata heshima yake. Olkalau juzi mmeona kitu ambacho kimetokea. So imefika point Rigathi anajisikia kiasi cha kwamba anaambia wenzake kina Munya, kina Muturi, wote tu ambao wana vyama huko Mlima Kenya kwamba jamani, kunjeni. Kunjeni kabisa hivyo vyama vyote muingie DCP, kwa sababu DCP ndo inakubalika. Sasa hapa ndo wenzake wanahisi, jamaa, yani wewe unatukosea heshima sana. Sana. Yani DCP yako kufanya vizuri haimaanishi unataka kutuambia tuachane na vyama vyetu tuingie kwenye chama chako. Kwanza wewe umetukuta. Sawa, unaweza kuwa umefanya vizuri au unafanya vizuri, lakini umetukuta hapa ndugu yangu. Heshima ifanye nini? Heshima idumu. Sasa Rigathi hapa kuna vita ngapi? Mbili. Una vita ya kumpeleka William Samoei Ruto nyumbani, ambao tactic ni kuhakikisha Mlima isipigie Ruto kura. Lakini kama ukiendelea kuwadharau wenzako, then kuna mgawanyiko utatokea. Just the same way wewe una watu wengi ambao wanakusupport, kuna vyama vidogo vidogo ambavyo wao pia wana watu wao ambao wanawasupport. Na kama kweli hiyo Mlima mnataka isimpigie William Samoei Ruto kura, kujisikia, kujigamba, kudharau vyama vingine, Rigathi Gachagua ataachana nayo. Na ndio maana press ambao wamefanya jioni ya leo, kuna namna fulani imewaonyesha kwamba Rigathi asipochunga 2027 vitu vinaweza vikabadilika. Na kwa siasa, by the way, one mistake kila kitu kinaharibika. So nataka usikilize hapa kitu ambacho walisema au vitu ambavyo walizungumzia Munya, Muturi na mwenzake au mwenzao yule, kwa sababu watu wanaongea vitu vingi huku nje. Hapana, press ndio hii hapa full kabisa. Sikiliza mwanzo mwisho, alafu mimi niongezee ambao naamini ni muhimu sana kwa wafuasi wa Rigathi na Rigathi mwenyewe. In fact yeye ndo anataka kuangalia video hii wa kwanza.
Sawa. Oh yeah. Party of National Unity, PNU, and with me is Lenny Kivuti, the party leader of the Bas Party, and Speaker Justin Muturi, who is the party leader of the Democratic Party, DP, and therefore I'm issuing this statement on behalf of those three parties. They have asked me to read the statement, and then they can also comment. Us and senior officials of duly registered political parties have noted with concern the remarks attributed to the de facto DCP leader, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, at a church event in Meru on Sunday, 26th July 2026, calling upon the Democratic Party, the Party of National Unity, PNU, Umoja and Maendeleo Party, and Bas Party to dissolve and join DCP. We wish to state unequivocally that every political party is an independent institution established under the Constitution and the laws of Kenya, with its own members delegates, elected officials, and governance structures. Consequently, unilateral pronouncements by one political leader purporting to direct, dissolve, merge, or determine the future of another political party are not only legally untenable, but are also deeply offensive to the thousands of members, delegates, and officials who have invested their trust, time, and resources in building those parties. Such decisions can only be made by the lawful organs of each respective party in accordance with its constitution and the Political Parties Act. Article 38 of the Constitution guarantees every Kenyan the freedom to make political choices, including the right to form, join, and participate in a political party of their choice. These political rights are both constitutional and statutory and cannot be diminished by the personal ambitions or preferences of any individual. Honorable Gachagua, therefore, has neither the legal nor the moral authority to prescribe the existence or future of other political parties. While we remain firmly committed to the broader objective of providing Kenya with alternative leadership and ending the failures of the Ruto administration, such unity must be anchored on mutual respect, consultation, and voluntary cooperation, not coercion, political ultimatums, or demands for surrender. It is equally contradictory for Honorable Gachagua to advocate for the dissolution of established political parties while simultaneously hosting elected UNDA leaders and engaging senior government officials openly, inviting them to his residence. If he genuinely believes in political realignment based on principle and the sovereign will of the people, then he should encourage those elected on UNDA tickets to resign and seek fresh mandates through by-elections. Democracy is strengthened by the ballot, not by negotiated defections, photo hoops, or selective political convenience. The standard must be applied consistently to all. We also reject any impression that Honorable Gachagua has been appointed or mandated to speak on behalf of all the people or political parties associated with the Mount Kenya region. No such meeting has ever been convened, nor has any consensus been reached conferring such authority upon him. Indeed, even Presidents Jomo Kenyatta, Mwai Kibaki, and Uhuru Kenyatta never sought to compel other parties to dissolve or proclaimed themselves the exclusive political leaders of the region. Leadership is earned through service, humility, and consensus, not through declarations of supremacy over independent political formations. We have deliberately exercised the restraint of our members and supporters, despite repeated subtle attacks directed at our parties and their leadership, because we believe that the interests of our people are best served through unity rather than unnecessary confrontation. However, restraint should not be mistaken for acquiescence. We call upon However, restraint should not be mistaken for acquiescence. We call upon Honorable Gachagua to desist from divisive pronouncements and instead embrace structured dialogue, consultation, and respectful engagement among all like-minded political parties. Durable political partnerships are built on equality, trust, and respect for institutional autonomy. It is worth noting that we cannot pretend to be growing our parties while simultaneously locking out others in order to own specific regions. While we have no differences with our partners in DCP, it is necessary to make our communities feel comfortable, secure, and free to make political choices. We must stop threatening those of diverse backgrounds and beliefs about our political standing in order to grow our democracy. It cannot be one is okay joining DCP, but bad if they join other parties. One people, one agenda, and prosperity. That is our underlying principles. So kwa kifupi tunasema tuheshimiane, na heshima si utumwa. Si ndio? Heshima is a two-way traffic. Kwa hivyo madharau vya hivi vidogo, sijui nani mdogo, sijui nani, creating narratives that are intended to serve your own personal interests are not going to help us, our people, to be together, and it will not help in the bigger agenda of trying to change the country and removing a dictatorship that is causing havoc across this nation. So that agenda is very serious, and we need everybody on board. We need everybody on board, and with a lot of respect to Mheshimiwa Gachagua, we are telling him to handle people with respect, restraint. Let him discipline his tongue. Let him put some discipline on his tongue when he's speaking about other people, about organizations, about other parties. It is good for him. It may help him ascend to wherever you want to ascend, because you ascend by riding on the shoulders of other people, not by deriding, besmirching, condescending behavior. Thank you. Track our agenda of working together to ensure we deal with this disaster called UNDA government is still there, and we are still in talking terms. But we thought it is important we publicly express ourselves, because he seems to be consistently talking about this wherever he goes. You can see we haven't talked individually. We consulted and thought we need to make this statement. With a lot of respect to him, we don't have anything personal against him. We are just telling him he needs to carry himself with dignity while dealing with other leaders. I mean, you can't have a region where there is only one leader. We are all leaders. And the communities in Mount Kenya have lived that way for many years. Our values and the way we operate, even our traditional values, is always elders respect other elders. And listen to positions of other elders. That's how we are a pluralistic society. That's how we are ingrained. we never had a king. Have you ever had a king from Mount Kenya? Have you ever had one? No, we don't have kings. We respect you, the strength of your arguments, and the leadership you provide, and the values you push are the ones that buy respect for you. So people bestow you that position. And that's what we are saying. And that's how the previous leaders in our region have always behaved. And we have already given you examples. People who have even risen to be presidents and led the country. Even when they were sitting president, they never said this is the only single party for this region. And remember, we are also part of Kenya. I mean, we are trying to save our whole country. So we have to see that bigger picture when we are leading. And we are saying again with a lot of respect to Mheshimiwa Kachagua.
What Chris was asking is, have you privately had a meeting or have you wanted to try and mend before?
I already told you it shouldn't be picked that way. But the danger that kind of behavior brings is a bigger danger than us keeping quiet. So that's why we chose that we need to speak about it. And I'm sure you'll also hear the message and you will restrain and reform. And we move forward.
So you told us not to put it that way. So you tell us then, what does this speak to in the quest by the United Alternative Government or United Opposition, as you want to call it, to unite and send President William Ruto? Yesterday we saw an effort by Azimio to bring all of you together. Then in between we are now seeing this. And that should be playing towards the same goal.
And we
speak to the unity.
We have welcomed that effort. Let me tell you something. Who should be explaining what you're asking?
You.
The person who is saying he wants one party and other parties dissolve, or me?
No,
because the reason we have restrained ourselves for a long time not to speak about it is because the same reason you are saying. We want to unite. But you can't unite with somebody belittling you, telling you to close your house and join his without any discussion on how parties manage. We have a legal process. If you want parties to dissolve, you discuss with them. Even the coalitions we are creating is through consensus building and discussion, isn't it? So I think you should ask him that question.
Probably you've seen.
You should ask him that question.
The United Opposition campaigning.
Whenever I've had an opportunity privately, I've told him. Even earlier, there was a time I spoke about it again in a meeting when he had spoken the same way. So whenever I met him, I've expressed that Mount Kenya is not a home for one party. Kenya is not. We are a multi-party democracy, and the constitution is very clear. So personally, I have. The other colleagues, I'm sure they have done it.
You as leaders also raise this. This statement uses very deliberate, moderate language. Is a language that encourages unity in diversity, which is one of the cardinal principles in our constitution. And like my brother Peter Munya, the leader of PNU, has said, whenever the occasion has arisen, including during many of our public rallies in various regions, we've had occasion to privately mention this issue that there's nobody who is a passenger. We are all in one boat. Our drive is restore constitutionalism in the country, the rule of law, respect for human rights, human dignity, and social justice. And in that effort, no one should claim a higher moral ground than the other if we honestly believe in what we preach. And therefore, this is not to talk about, to say that there are cracks. We just felt that it is necessary, since our political parties were specifically singled out on the 26th of July this year, after a church service in Central Imenti, when the Honorable Rigathi Gachagua publicly, in fact, I thought you should have actually, rather than ask us, you should have gone to ask him, why you saying in the absence of those other leaders of those parties, why are you telling them to dissolve and join DCP? And you just, you formed your party the other day, you found these parties in existence. What has prompted you to think that they should dissolve and join this new outfit? So it is not a question of a rift, because in a democracy, people are allowed to hold views which could be different from others. But the most important thing is to respect the right of those others who have different views, including vehemently different from yours, and defend their right to hold those views. And therefore, it is the responsibility and obligation of every leader in this arrangement within the United Alternative Government to respect the existence of each of the other partner parties. Yes.
Just last one.
The public, because the statement was not made in private, it was made publicly. We were not in that function, but it was widely reported, including those of you might not have seen it, including, and I want to challenge you to go and look at, I think it's page 8 of the Daily Nation of Monday, 27th. Yeah, you will see that that statement. And we are waiting for 1 week to see whether there would be a correction to say that this is not what we meant. It has not come. So we cannot also go into our bedrooms and start issuing our statement. We decided also to be public. And this statement, as I've said, is very moderate. We are just calling for respect and the toning down of any, demeaning and belittling behavior by any of our colleagues. We are not fighting anybody. Everybody is at liberty to exist, and indeed, as he often says, sell their own parties. But in selling your party, you must not go calling on other parties whom you found already. The Honorable Lenny Kivuti's party, the Mbas party, has elected officials in the County Assembly of Meru. The Honorable Peter Munya, his party has elected representatives. I have elected representatives also, both at the national level and even in the county assemblies. So we're just saying, please, it's okay for you to go and sell your outfit. Let us compete there on the basis of ideas, but don't go belittling. It is not good, because the constitution itself is a guiding document that Kenya shall be a multi-party democratic state.
There is a question you either deliberately or going to answer, and the question
is everybody is at liberty to express their own opinions about the ideals for which their institutions or parties stand for. And within this united opposition or united alternative government, everybody should respect the rights of the other. Indeed, if you remember what this statement starts with, it makes reference specifically to Article 38, but the rights of Kenyans and political parties and associations. Yeah, every political party is or should be perceived as an institution of public governance, and therefore none should belittle the other. And that's why we are calling for restraint. And we are very clear, calling for restraint, so that we continue working together with respect and due consideration to the rights of each and every one of us to pursue our ideals.
Even as we forge forward with our work to unite ourselves. We are already working on that, as you learned yesterday. We may divide even further, even you paper it, because you can paper it by looking like you are together in everything when you have differences that you need to address. And that's what we are saying. And I'm sure the message has reached. And then we should now be able to correct that and move forward as united alternative government.
Maybe a harsher or stricter question to you would be,
you can't tell me I surrender all my constitutional rights because I'm not working to lock out somebody from a particular place. That's the kind of values we want to discourage. We want to be tolerant. And I think we are doing a lot. The UNDA government rating in Meru is probably the lowest in Mount Kenya region. And I wouldn't say it is Gachagua alone who has made that happen. And we don't want to narrow our agenda of dealing with this government and we forget we have a democracy to build for the future. And democracy is built by tolerance, by accepting their diverse views in society. That's why we call it pluralistic democracy, because people have different ideas. If you don't tolerate them, then you create a dictatorship. So you remove one dictatorship, you create another one. How does that help you?
Probably.
Are you saying he's out of control? He can't restrain himself. We are only asking him to restrain himself and respect. We respect each other. I'm sure he's capable of doing that. I really don't want to go there. We just were sending a message that for the betterment of the opposition that is working very hard to remove this government, let us respect each other. We summarize it that way. Let us don't go into conjecture and scenario creating, and he has harmed us, and I think that's good enough.
Probably the question I was asking.
There is one pending, and the discussion we had yesterday that brought many parties together, and others are on the way. Once they come on board, then the retreat will be convened. It's a pending one. It's actually there. So some of the issues to be discussed is this is one of the issues that will feature in those discussions. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with the public digesting this, because we are leading the public. And the public need to know, even as we tell him publicly the way he told us. So agreed that there will be a retreat to discuss this and other important issues that will make the united alternative government stronger as we focus on the bigger agenda of removing this disaster in government.
Then wanted to say something.
Lenny.
And then a point.
Consultations are very good. You know, democracy is always work in progress.
Absolutely. And there's no one way of doing things. Political parties are independent entities. So the way to bring them together is those who are ready, they meet first. Those who need to consult their members, they come later, and they have said they are coming. I mean, in our statement we said we've talked to them and they have said they are consulting as they join. So what are you talking about? We are united.
I don't know why.
Together, we are now forming structures. We are individual parties that are working together and forming structures.
Even this document is part of the united opposition. So, would you rather have us not talk anything about the reorganizing, about the self-respect, about, how things should be? You'd like us to keep quiet until we sit in a boardroom? We have many people who are listening, who follow us day to day, and they ask these same questions. And like JB said, this matter has been put to Honorable Gachagua before. It's not like it's new. And you also, guys, you just said you also know it. So if the press knows it, and the people down there, they know it, you expect us to keep quiet? To correct one mistake within our organization is better than to wait for it to affect the Mwananchi, where we represent.
And I think you are confusing. I think that's where you're wanting. You're wanting as that confusion, that for you to be united, you must have you can't have different opinions. Democracy is always like that. Or developed democracy, if you know them, there is always...
We would like you to take
opinions.
home the last 10 people, one agenda, and prosperity for us together. That together means DCP, DP, PNU, BAS, WIPA, all the parties that are coming together. We are actually trying to cement this kind of respect, mutual respect between all of us. And that's why we used very subtle language saying we respect Honorable Gachagua, but we think some of these agendas, these ideas, what he's doing should be restrained. That's all. We do not say we are fighting or there's no fight.
Bas, nadhani message ipo clear kabisa. Hawa si tu kwamba wameachana naye, si tu kwamba wameamua kumsupport William Ruto, hapana. Yaani wao kama watu wazima tu ambao wanajielewa, imefika point kuvumilia imekuwa ngumu, na wakaona bwana the best thing wanaweza wakafanya ni kujitokeza na kuiongelelea wazi, watu wajue kwamba okay, sisi tuko hapa, tuko pamoja, tumeamua kutembea safari nini, lakini sasa huyu jamaa yani vibe zake sasa hazieleweki. Huwezi kutuambia bwana tukunje vyama vyetu bwana, si wewe umetupata. Wana make sense akina Munya na akina Muturi, honestly speaking, wana make sense. And nataka niseme hivi, Gachagua huwezi kupiga vita mbili, narudia, huwezi kupiga vita mbili wakati moja. Yani possibility ya vitu hivi vyote ambavyo wewe unavipiga, kuna moja kama inaweza ikakosa kwenda vizuri. Kama ni Ruto must go, it's fine, but mlima lazima ikue kitu moja. Kama ukiamua kudharau tena wenzako, kuna watu watakuona wewe sio mtu mzuri. Hapo tu ndo utafanya watu wachanganyikiwe, washindwe. Na sasa huyu naye, huyu kabisa ndo tunamtegemea kweli? Huyu tutaendelea naye hivi ambavyo wana behave kweli? Itakuwa ni vigumu sana. Lakini pia kitu kingine cha pili, Rigathi Gachagua, yani hata I'm shocked kuona Rigiji anadharau wenzake. And Rigiji mwenyewe ndo amekuwa akituambia hapo, alitudharau sijui nini. Yeye analiaga kwamba alikuwa anadharauliwa akiwa deputy president. Sasa cha ajabu leo hii yeye ndo amegeuka na dharau watu wengine. Rigiji, wewe yani mimi sometimes namwangalia alafu najiambia, na sasa wewe Rigathi, wewe si umetoka UDA ambao unasema huko sio mambo sio mazuri kule, kuna namna Ruto afanye vitu vizuri. Ruto ndo aliambiaga wenzake wale ndugu zake kina Mudavadi Sifuna kina Wetangula kwamba vunjeni vyama vyenu muingie UDA. Si ndio? Wewe ukatoka huko ukasema kumbe kusafiri na chama cha mtu mwingine sio rahisi, tujitengenezee yetu. Kwa hiyo yani wewe yani umegeuka, utaki na wenzako nao wawe na vyama. Wakati wewe okay, mbona wewe hukubaki UDA? Wewe mbona hukubaki UDA? Kabisa si uliona kabisa chama cha wenyewe hicho. Acha na mimi nije na chama changu. Sawa, ukaja na chama chako, bahati nzuri watu wameipenda, watu wameikubali huko Mount Kenya. So ya wenzako ndo unaona kabisa haifai Rigiji, shame on you. Hapo hapo umepoteza points nyingi sana. Haukutakiwa kwenda hivyo. Yani wewe being that chama chako kinafanya vizuri, haukutakiwa kudharau wenzako. Huwezi kudharau wenzako kwa sababu chama chako kinafanya vizuri. Wewe Rigiji unatakiwa kuelewa kwamba unawapa wale watu mileage. Unawapa nafasi ya kukushambulia na kukupiga. Unawapa nafasi ya kudhibitishia watu kwamba wewe ni mkorofi, wewe sio mtu ambaye unatakiwa kusikilizwa. Wamekuwa wakizungumza wewe ni mkabila, wewe ni unajipenda, yani wewe yani wewe ni kichwa ngumu, na kweli hivi vitu ambavyo sasa vinaonekana vitafanya watu waamini kweli ambavyo wanaongea sometimes kukuhusu ni true. So ndugu zangu bwana, mmeona speech ya Ruku after hizi drama zote zimetokea? Mmeona kitu ambacho ameongea Ruku?
Nataka kusema ukweli bila urembo ya kwamba nimeona statement led by Honorable Peter Munya and flagged by Honorable Justin Muturi and Honorable Lenny Kivuti. All my senior brothers from Mount Kenya East. And I have listened to you, the statement carefully. Na hiyo yote mmesema ni ukweli. Rigathi Gachagua ni mtu mtukutu, ni mkora, ni mtu ana heshima na mtu yoyote. And I can assure you, my older brothers, and brothers I respect from Mount Kenya East, Rigathi Gachagua will not respect you. There is nothing you'll work with which is commendable from that side of Rigathi Gachagua. All of you have championed the gospel of Mount Kenya East in the past. By then, I was keenly listening to you when I was not in any position of leadership. And the same gospel is the same gospel I'm championing today. But we have to finish this. We have to consolidate Mount Kenya East. After consolidating Mount Kenya East, we must strategize and take and liberate the people and the communities from Mount Kenya East. We have President William Ruto, who has proved again and again that Mount Kenya East development and economic empowerment is at the center of his art. Huyu mkora ambao mmekuwa mnaandamana na yeye, Rigathi Gachagua, ameanza kuwatukana. Nimesoma kwa mitandao the communication from his communication team. Ametukana Rene Kivuti, ametukana JB Muturi, ametukana Peter Munya. Majina yote ambao amewaita. And this has been the case. He has abused President William Ruto again and again. He has abused Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki again and again. Atawatukana saidi, my brothers, my senior brothers, Rene Kivuti, JB Muturi and Peter Munya. It is high time you consider working together with your brother, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, so that we can form the next government together as a people of Mount Kenya East, united together.
Sasa mimi nawaambia ndo topic hii wiki mpaka sijui siku gani watakuwa wanaongea hivyo hivyo ambavyo umemsikia nani Ruko ameongea. Watakuwa wanaongea hivyo hivyo tu. Sasa unashangaa Ruto nani, unamshangaa yani Rigathi, kwani wewe huwezi kuona kabisa hivi ni vitu ambavyo ndo vimekuwa vikileta shida hata kule UDA. Jamaa si amekuwa akiambia wenzake sio hawataki sijui wavunje vyama vyao waingie UDA ndo sijui nini ifanyike. No, haiwezekani. Wale pia wana manyumbani kwao huko ambako watu wanawapenda, wanawakubali na hivyo vyama vyao. Yaani hata kama ndio hivyo havina support kubwa, lakini watu wanawapenda, wanawakubali hivyo hivyo. Sasa wewe unapojisikia kwamba unaenda kwa wenyewe kuambia kwamba vunjeni vyama vyenu, no. That is lack of respect. Na ameambiwa kwamba jamani, don't do that, usifanye hivyo. Lakini pia tuwe honest. Ni sawa kuna ndoto fulani waga anataka Rigathi, na ni ndoto ile ya ODM kipindi cha mzee Raila. Ashai kusema sio mara moja sio mara mbili kwamba anatamani kitu kama ODM. Sababu ODM baba alikuwa na viongozi wengi sana. Afu baba huko Nyanza yani haungemwambia kitu. Haunge kabisa haungemwambia kitu. Kama ni ODM tu. Yani maybe sehemu hizi zingine. Najua ndio kitu ambacho anataka Rigathi kwa Mount Kenya, kwamba kama ni DCP inakuwa ni DCP na hakuna kitu kingine kinataka kufanyika. Lakini si polepole Rigathi baba. Ridhika polepole tu. Ipo siku kama ilishawekwa kwamba jamani hii DCP ndio itakuja kwa kubwa, hata watu watakuja tu kuingia wenyewe tu. Watu wenyewe watademand tu hiyo. Tunataka hiyo UDA, yani hatutaki tunataka hiyo DCP. Hatutaki hata ya vyama vya kina nani wale. Just mos tu. Nini? Haraka nini Rigathi, ridhika. Shukuru Mungu kwa muda mfupi chama kinakubalika sijui counties ngapi huko Mount Kenya. Counties nyingi. Shukuru Mungu, baada ya muda mfupi nje ya Mount Kenya kuna sehemu tayari hata ushapata nafasi, sijui Narok, sijui wapi huko. Watu wanakuelewa, watu wanapenda chama. Sasa haraka ni ya nini unaenda huko? Wale ni ndugu zako, ma brothers kabisa ambao mnatembea pamoja. Unaanza kuwadharau, no, wewe tafuta style ya kukampeni sasa. Sawa, unaweza ukawa unafanya kampeni ya chama chako, it's fine, you have to push at the end of the day, julikane, it's okay. But usidharau wenzako. Ifanye kwa njia ya ustaarabu ambao haitafanya watu wa feel kama unawadharau. Hiyo ndio imekuwa point. Yeah. Ndiyo mtu hawezi kuridhika, lakini sasa hata kama tayari mambo yanaenda vizuri, una control percent nzuri sana ya Mount Kenya. Haraka ni ya nini baba? Haraka ni ya nini Rigathi? Pole pole tu, kanyaga break, wacha mambo yaende mdogo mdogo, mambo yatakuwa tu vizuri. So yeah, ndo ripoti ambayo nilitaka kuwapa hapa. So Wamnyoro watu wanaenda, hiyo isimpe. Watu wanaenda Wamnyoro sana usiku mchana. Anapata ma intelligence. Yaani kuna namna ashakuwa kwenye map tayari uko juu kabisa. But hiyo haitakiwi kukufanya wewe uanze kudharau ndugu zako ambao mnatembea safari moja. Wale hata sio threat tena. Wale sio threat. Hata ukiwaachia hata kaunti moja au mbili. By the way, at the end of the day ni Ruto must go hata kwa wale ambao wanataka kusimama Embu ama Meru na vyama vingine. Where is the problem Rigathi? Shida iko wapi? Baba, si ungevumilia tu na mambo yaende tu smooth. Jamani, tusikosane hapa katikati. Au anyway, yeye ndo anajua the reason why anawadharau. I don't know the reason why anawadharau. But achunge. One mistake tu, vitu vinaweza vikaribika sana hiyo Mount Kenya. Anyway, niachie maoni yako hapo chini kwenye sehemu ya comments, lakini kikubwa zaidi subscribe ili wewe uendelee kupata taarifa nyingi na mpya kila wakati. Bye bye.